You are watching Sammy the Interviewing Toucan, made possible by the Indiana Young Readers Center. Hey everybody, I'm Sammy and I'm here today with Katie Hesterman. Hi Katie.
Sammy, it's so great to meet you.
It's so great to meet you and I'm so excited to be talking to you today. I love talking to Indiana authors. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your connection to Indiana?
Absolutely. Sammy, I have lived here most of my adult life. I moved here shortly after marrying and graduating from nursing school. And my husband and I have raised our three children right here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And coincidentally, it was my children who led me on my journey to writing. I can distinctly remember reading a poem from Baby Bug magazine to my youngest son. And after I read the poem, I just said to myself, I think I can write like that. And from that point on, I was pretty much hooked. I started writing poems for children and for babies. And within about a year, I had my first poem sold to Ladybug magazine. So it kind of may sound like my road to publication was quick, but in reality, it took about 15 years until I could actually sell my first book. So as you can imagine, that was a long and winding journey, but I have to say I've actually enjoyed it. I've learned so much about writing in the process, and I met so many wonderful people.
Aw, that's so great. So I've
Thanks.
got I've got your book here, A Round of Robins, and is this your debut book?
It definitely is my debut book.
Well, congratulations on that. And I also want to congratulate you for being shortlisted for the Indiana Authors Emerging Author Award. Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. That was such an exciting honor. I was just thrilled to be included on that list.
Oh, that's so fun. I also want to mention the book that we've got here, A Round of Robins. Let's talk about it a little bit. You know, it's March right now. What's
Okay.
happening with robins right now out there? Can you tell us?
Oh my goodness, March is a busy robin season. It is the time when robins start returning to your neighborhoods. You'll see them in the trees, you'll hear them singing, and what they're doing is basically finding their territory so they can kind of set up their homes and start their brooding or their nesting season.
Oh, I love that. And is it right that robins have more than one sort of round of nesting seasons a year?
It is correct. Robins will raise two and sometimes three nests of babies in one nesting season.
Oh, I love thinking about baby birds because, of course, I am a bird myself. So,
Yeah.
there's that. Well, Katie, my next question, can you talk a little bit about where you hope to be someday in your creative writing journey?
Well, I'd have to say that someday I would love it if I could have a collection of nature inspired poetry books set up like my first book of Round of Robins. But I'd also really, really love to have a series of character driven picture books. I know it kind of sounds like a tall order, but right now I'm just kind of thinking my motto is shoot for the stars. So I'm going to try my best to get there.
I love that. Oh, and gosh, good luck. Do you have a character in mind? Have you been working on a character?
I have been working on a few characters, and I don't really want to say too much about them except that they're definitely a quirky pair. They're fun and they're funny, and I'm thinking they will be relatable to children.
Oh,
That's
good.
my.
That's so great. So, Katie, gosh, it's March. We've been in this pandemic for a year now. Can you believe that?
In some ways, it has kind of gone by quickly, but in other ways, it seemed to drag on forever.
Oh, well, how are you doing? Do you have any advice for other people?
Well, I would say in terms of my writing, writing is really a solitary profession. So where you write and how you write hasn't really changed at all for me. But kind of what I've been writing has changed. I've felt myself gravitate more towards purely fictional stories. And I think a lot of that is because writing fiction is such a great escape. It's just incredible to have the feeling that you can create any character and they can basically do or say or have any adventure that you want them to have. So, in terms of advice, I guess I would have to say that I started out as a nurse. So, for me, paying attention to the experts and to science is really, really important during this public health crisis. We've never seen a pandemic like this in our lifetimes. And I guess I just really think proper hand washing, social distancing, and masking are so very, very important. And of the three, I'd have to say masks are the one that really go a long way to reduce the spread of this deadly virus.
You know, that was a tough one for me, but I did finally get a mask that fit this big beak, so that
Good
was
for
good.
you, Sammy. Good for
And
you.
you know, I try to practice good wing washing, so
That's really important.
that
That
is
preening,
important.
that goes
Yeah,
along.
exactly, preening. Ah, I love it. So, Katie, before we move away from your book, I did want to mention the illustrations are just really cute. They're really adorable. Were you pleased with the illustrations? And who was your illustrator?
Oh my goodness, I was absolutely thrilled with the illustrations. Sergio Rosier is incredibly talented, and I just felt very honored and lucky to have him as my illustrator. I think the palette he chose was incredible, and the way he brought my words to life was just an amazing thing to see.
Oh, good. I just think it's a really sweet book. So, those of you, if you haven't read it, it's perfect for this time of year, A Round of Robins. So, Katie, we're at our last question. Do you have a show and tell to share
Okay.
with us today?
I sure do, Sammy. I brought along my friend Robin.
Oh, hi,
And
Robin.
hi, Sammy. Robin was really excited to meet you, but she is a little shy. But that said, I think we'll be able to persuade her to sing. I really wanted the audience to hear what a Robin song sounds like
Okay.
because I think it'd be fun for you then to go out into your neighborhood, maybe your backyard, maybe the park, or maybe just take a hike in the woods and listen to see if you can hear the song of the robin. So here we go. Isn't that a beautiful
Oh, it
song?
is beautiful. It's sort of like tweet, 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 tweet.
And it's so cheerful and happy, and it's definitely a sound of spring. When I hear that pretty robin song, I know that those spring days are finally here. And that's a
Oh,
happy thing for me. A lot of people don't know this, but not many robins actually migrate. Some do, but most of them, they really just go to heavily wooded areas and they roost with other robins. And as long as they can find a food source, like a juniper berry or crab apples, to sustain them through the winter, they'll really actually stay in these warm or these cooler northern climates. They don't have to go anywhere. But what's that? Oh, Robin wanted me to ask you, Sammy, do you migrate anywhere in the winter?
you know, my guess would be that a native toucan would probably just stay put. That's my guess. But, you know, being a Hoosier toucan, it's different. It's not quite the
Right.
same. So I guess maybe I hibernate. Maybe that's what happens,
There you go.
you know?
Yeah, and I think just because you're a toucan in Indiana, the way you live through the winter is going to be a little bit different than it would be if you're living in a typically warmer toucan climate.
Right, you know,
So
and
that makes perfect sense, Sammy.
Katie, you've been so delightful to talk to.
It's been a lot of fun talking to you.
Good, good, good. Well, this has been your favorite Hoosier toucan, encouraging you to read local. So long, everybody.
Bye, Sammy.